Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Addicted to Gear. I'm really glad you can join me again. You know, I've been really enjoying playing my acoustic guitar again, and I go in phases. Sometimes I like to play electric and I swap between electric and acoustic, but you know, every time I pick up my acoustic guitar, I remember just how great and how much fun it is to play acoustic, you know. And if some of you don't already have an acoustic guitar and you're electric guitar players, I really recommend you go take a look at some acoustic guitars. It's really wonderful. Helps with the creative process as well when you're trying to write music or you're just trying to, you know, get some arrangements going. Anyway, today I wanted to talk to you about something that's related to acoustic guitar and acoustic guitar playing. If you ever play an acoustic guitar in a live situation, in a gig, on stage somewhere, or even a jam session, you know that one thing that is always a little bit of a pain in the butt with acoustic guitars is getting it to come through in the mix when you're playing. So a lot of people will take an acoustic guitar similar to this one that has an output here for a jack and go directly into the board, right? And that'll give you a good sound because, you know, it'll allow you to go direct. You don't have to fuss around with other methods of connecting your acoustic guitar. If you have a piezo pickup like this one has under the bridge, you don't have to mess around with miking an acoustic guitar, which you may or may not know in a live situation is a real pain because you have to deal with feedback and whatnot. So I came across a really cool unit. It's made by Hotone, or Hotone, depends on how you want to pronounce it. It's always been kind of a dilemma figuring out what it is. This is called the A Station. A obviously stands for acoustic guitar pedals, right? So it's an acoustic, kind of an acoustic guitar preamp. And it's a really cool effects pedal. Like, I wouldn't even call it an effects pedal because it's not really giving you effects. It's just basically allowing you to amplify your acoustic sound. And I really feel like it's really well done. And there's a lot of functionality in this little pedal. And I wanted to talk to you about it a little bit in more detail. The first thing that you're going to notice is that the finish on the pedal, and this has totally nothing to do with the sound. The Performer series, and this is definitely the Performer series. You can see it right here on the label. I think they're putting a lot of attention to detail, and they're really trying to make a high quality pedal. This is not necessarily a budget pedal, but it really does pack in a lot of features. And you know, you can tell by the finish, which is actually a relief finish. You know, I haven't seen a finish like this on a pedal before. It's not a silkscreen, it's actually a texture, which is interesting. So as soon as you pick up the pedal, you know, it really does feel quality. The knobs, the switches, the inputs, and everything in the back of it here, which there's really a lot to talk about, and I'll get to that in a moment. But you can really tell, you know, even the way the battery compartment is made, the enclosure itself, really nice quality. The feet on it, really good. I mean, in terms of fit and finish, I would give it an A+. Really nice pedal. So let's look at some of the features on the top of the pedal here, and you'll notice that there's a lot of knobs and switches going on. So I wanted to just run down that with you first. So one of the first things you're going to notice about this pedal is the amount of knobs on it and the switches and whatnot. So let's run down that quickly so that you can get a better idea of how this pedal actually works. So first of all, you have the row of switches on the second row here that is basically a 3-band EQ, and it's designed to help you shape the tone of your instrument. So you have really general controls here. So you have volume, bass, middle, and treble, and you can use all of this to further enhance the tweaking of your acoustic guitar. So if you're going into a board, you know, you can set it up initially at the board, but then when you're playing throughout the night, this pedal really allows you a little bit more flexibility so you can tweak as you go on, and you don't necessarily have to rely on someone else at the board to get the sound that you're after. Really nice feature to have there. The upper row of knobs here is a notch filter. And it basically is a notch there's a notch filter, there's a notch frequency, and a mic gain knob. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to control the sound a little bit more, and you can actually eliminate any issues with feedback, for example, if you're experiencing that, and oftentimes certain acoustic guitars might have that issue. So you can really get that under control with this secondary set of knobs, which is another thing that's really cool about this pedal. Is you also have a mic gain knob here, because I'll talk to you about that a little bit, but there's an input here for a mic as well. So you can go into it with an acoustic guitar as well as a mic, which is really like a Swiss Army knife type pedal, which is quite handy, I think. So that brings us to the foot switches here. And we have two foot switches. One's a boost and one is a mute. So basically, once the pedal is turned on, you can turn it on and off or mute it with this knob, this switch here. And then you have a secondary switch which allows you to actually boost the function a little bit more, so that you can stand out during solos, or if there's an instrument part that you want to have a little bit, you want to bring more attention to. Again, a really nice feature, so you don't have to rely on an external boost pedal. There's lights, LED lights here for both switches, which is nice to have as well. Let's look at the inputs now. You'll notice, okay, we have a regular input here for power, which we definitely need. But what's really nice is that they've also included a little switch for power as well, directly on the pedal. You don't see that too often. In the back of it, you have some direct output and inputs here. And this will feed your signal directly to the mixer or your recording gear. And so you have a mic in on one side, you have a balanced out on the other side, and then you have a bunch of inputs here that I'll talk to you about briefly as well. So you have a 1/4 inch parallel output for connecting any acoustic amps or other gear, which is super to have. You have a high quality microphone preamp here, and it also has phantom power. You can see that switch right over here, so you can turn it on or turn it off. And that's really super for recording if you want to be able to record your guitar going through the unit, as well as maybe miking the room or using a mic to sing into. Really handy feature there. You have a switchable effects loop, and this is something really cool here. So you see the switch right here. So you have GT on one side, mix on the other, and mic. So you can actually switch. The effects loop, and just give yourself a little bit extra dimension if you need it. And what's cool about that, so if you don't know how you would use it, basically, let's say you would want to put in a reverb pedal, a delay pedal, maybe some kind of modulation that you'd like to use on your acoustic sound. You can put this into the effects loop here, and you can switch it on, switch it off directly at the acoustic guitar level, so that you can just bring that extra air or ambiance to your tone, and you don't have to rely on fancy routing to be able to do this with external pedals going into the board or whatnot. You can do it straight at the acoustic guitar level, which is really, really nice. So what more can I say about this great pedal? I think they really knocked it out of the park. It's chock full of well-designed features. It seems well built to me, and it seems like a quality product. So if you're an acoustic guitar player and you really don't want to carry a lot of equipment with you, and who does really these days anymore? If you're playing a club, a one-man show, if you're maybe playing in a restaurant or in a worship band, or even just recording, this is a really indispensable piece of gear that you can simply throw in your gig bag and be on the road, because you're not relying on a sound guy to do the final tweaking of your sound when you're on stage. You can actually do it straight from here, and with the functionality with a mic and an effects loop and whatnot. It's really an all-around great pedal. I don't see anything else. I can't think of anything else that you can squeeze into this pedal. So definitely check it out. If you haven't already been to the company's website, I strongly recommend that you visit them. I'll put the link in the comments section below, because they do have a great acoustic guitar video there where there's no talking, unlike my videos, and it's just playing. And if you really want to hear this thing in action, it's very well recorded and you can get a really good idea of what it can offer you. But if you do want me to record something for you guys, I can definitely oblige. It won't be as well recorded with my limited setup here, but if you want, leave me some comments. And if I get enough comments asking me to do so, I definitely will. So check out their website. If you have any comments about this pedal and you want to ask me something, leave them in the comments below. I'm always very happy to answer questions when I can. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do, because there's going to be more great stuff that I'm going to be reviewing for you. In the meantime, stay tuned and keep rocking, guys.